Um, I knew you guys were very excited about the overcoming obstacles or embracing obstacles talk that Loretta did on the Campbell team call. And she's been doing that forever. It was especially good last Monday night. And if you haven't listened to that, go on campbellteam.net. The password is Campbell Team, one word, and find that under the Monday night series. Anyway, so I just reached out to her just like you would a friend, and she said sure, and she got somebody to cover her call tonight because it's at the same time. So anyway, excited for you guys to just come up with some things to talk to her about, because I said interaction because we already had the training. So you guys make sure you get out your texts or your messenger and ask questions. Don't be shy, because Loretta is awesome. But anyway, I want to collect some more stories, and you guys, hopefully you're collecting stories for yourself by hearing all these different people's great stories. Let's hear about Angie. Angie, you still there? Where'd she go? I saw Angie. Oh, there she is. Angie. I'm hoping that her kids are better off now that they are on Juice Plus. We met her at a salad jar party. And Jules, do you know? I think her kids are better off now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she had some really great results with her son, Ryan, who was asthmatic and I think had allergies. And that's why she got on Juice Plus.
That's awesome. Oh, I see Loretta's coming on. Great. Hi, Loretta.
Hey.
Hey, it's the Brady Bunch. We're all
Beautiful Brady Bunch. I love it.
Yay. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited you're on here. It's been wonderful to just have you as a partner on this journey. So I was just having some of them share their story. And I know that, and Doug wrote, Loretta will be answering questions you have about objections. So you can post them in the panel section or the chat section, sorry. Anyway, but I saw everybody texting and messaging and tagging about Loretta's call last Monday night. And Wendy Campbell said, we need a part 2, Loretta. And I said, I know Loretta, let me see if she'll come on this. And how flexible is that? She got somebody else, one of her leaders, to cover tonight at 9. And it's been wonderful to be on this journey with her. We met at, you remember that? At an airport, getting picked up for the NMD boot camp. And so ever since then, so that's why you want to come to conferences, you want to come to boot camps, because just the ride with Loretta, now we're forever friends, right? So,
absolutely.
And so isn't it great to have friends like that? That's why you want to come to conference and all the different activities. So anyway, Loretta lives in, is it Myrtle Beach now?
No, I live in outside of Wilmington and Carolina Beach.
Oh, okay.
North
Carolina?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And I'll just have you give your stats on yourself, and that way I'll make sure that you get it right. And so anyway, I am just so thrilled that you are on here to help people answer their questions about objections. They really enjoyed, we did a debrief on Zoom last Monday night after your call, and they loved all the things that you really brought up, you know, like asking a question after an objection, taking that pause and all that good stuff. So I am going to hand this over to Loretta, and she's going to just interact with you with her capable skills. So I hope, I see some pictures with husbands on it. I hope spouses can listen too. I think that's a great idea. And so take it away, Loretta. Very excited you're on our call.
Okay. Well, first of all, this was so spontaneous that I was sitting at the beach on Saturday and the Voxer came over from Sharon. And I have to tell you, you know, I probably wouldn't have even listened except for that it was from Sharon, because she is just one of those people in my world and in my business that, you know, I completely value and love her as a person and know what an incredible leader she is. So you're all lucky to have her. But I'm also lucky to call her my friend. And when one of us asks each other to do something which we don't abuse, we listen because we want so much to support one another. So I guess maybe a first tip tonight is I want to say be a great team player. don't come to the table with scarcity or a worry of someone else has something you don't have, or there's not enough to go around, or you know what, there is one team, one mission. There is only 1% of the population eating Juice Plus. The entire world needs to get healthy, and there's more than enough to go around. And so to me, my heart starts with our mission, and my heart starts with helping other people succeed. And I have to tell you, I created this training when I was a qualified national marketing director in 2006. 2006, this training, and I have only tweaked a few slides out of the entire presentation. I was asked to give it at a boot camp in Ohio, and Sharon Rankin, if you might know her, she's the first female national marketing director, happened to be at the boot camp, and she walked up to me, and she was one of the first people that spoke into my world, and she said, Loretta, you're going to be a 100 Club national marketing director. Now, first of all, I'm not yet, but all these years later, I'm on my way. I'm working on it. So maybe tip number 2 tonight is have patience with the process. We're on a journey. We're not in a marathon. I've had to embrace personal growth and challenges in life, with some major challenges that I won't even go into tonight, that, maybe did not allow me or to go fast, but I always was moving forward. I've never been out of line. I have never left the trenches. I'm in the trenches today with my team. The sleeves are rolled up. I'm the first one to do the booth. I'm the first one to be at a dental office giving a talk. I'm the first one that's doing a connection call. I'm the first one bringing someone to a connection to somebody else. I'm still doing the same activity today as a 50 Club NMD as I was as a Q, trying to figure this out. So I come to you in the same vulnerable place that I always have been, which is we are never too old for that training. It's not easy. I don't attempt to try to tell you that it's easy to master this art of being a great listener, this art of building relationships, this ability to influence people. But I do think it starts with what we shared last week. Listening more than we speak, not rushing to tell and teach and drive home points. Instead, we are receiving, digesting, and leading people through a series of steps so that they can come to their own personal conclusions. And usually they're the right ones if we did it correctly. So I guess other than that, I'm kind of open. I have no notes. I didn't plan anything because I gave you what I got last week. I guess I would love any type of, throw an objection at me. Throw a challenge that you have with the process of objections or people during the process of prospecting customers, inviting to the team after they've gotten to the team. Is there anything else I can bring to the table for you tonight?
I think last time we raised our hands. So if you feel more comfortable raising your hand first, that's fine. Or just speak up.
Put glasses on.
Oh, I can make sure I announce who raised their hand. Oh, Doug. Doug's raised his hand.
Well, I always like to raise my hand. Hi, Loretta.
Hey, Doug, how you doing?
Good. Good. I have a question. So how many years have you been doing the Juice Plus?
The Juice Plus business?
Yeah.
16 years this October, I got introduced to the product. I would say consciously working at it as a business for 14 years. Okay.
Okay. So a lot of times people feel like, it's hard to how can I meet some people? I've talked to everybody. Like, how are you meeting new people and still finding ways to share Juice Plus?
Okay. That's a phenomenal question. And I believe that what you have to look at is what ponds are you fishing in? We are fishermen. We're not hunters, so we always need to be fishing. And I consistently and constantly change the ponds that I'm fishing in. Whether it be right now, I'm starting a brand new Bible study at my church for single moms. That's always been on my heart, but I've been in a Bible study for 3.5 years, and it was time for me just to do something fresh, something new. And I've got 10 women coming together next Tuesday night. Now, am I doing that for Juice Plus? No, I'm doing that because it's what I'm called to do right now. But I know that those are all going to be new people that you never know. I joined a new gym 18 months ago. I ran the Spartan race with that gym yesterday. These women are becoming my new best friends. Only 2 of them at the entire gym are on Juice Plus so far, but I've already introduced the whole program to the owner. It's a small gym. She is absolutely cut out, but it's taken me 18 months to get to this place of that pond is filled with fish prime for Juice Plus. But did I rush for the jugular? Did I have an impatient attitude? No. I've sat and waited and waited and waited for right moments. But I knew I was in the right place, so I haven't left. I just already knew that it was going to take time to capture that particular environment. So if you are showing up at the same places every day, all the time, and nothing's happening, you've got to change that up. I also joined, I'm driving 45 minutes one day a week to be in a different chamber of commerce in a little place called Southport. Very untapped market for Juice Plus, whole new group of people for me. Tower Garden seems to be the excitement. Okay, we'll start there. But bottom line is I went and did a new business venture as well. So I'm always, with every 6 months to 1 year, switching up, changing, moving. If I find that no one's showing up for Juice Plus, I'm not getting questions asked, I'm not able to find people that I'm building rapport with, I move on. So you have to always be looking at, am I out meeting people? I can tell you, I'm never shuffling paper. Matter of fact, I border on disorganized in my office, because if I'm sitting around my office being perfect, I'm not out talking to people, and my business will go nowhere. I can always catch up on paperwork. I can always catch up on my follow-up and making sure everything gets tucked in their little binders, which never happens in my world. I think that we can be so organized that it's to our detriment. So be careful too that you're not trying to sit, and out social media. I get it. I use it every day. I use it all the time, but I still will never discount the value of the human connection.
That's awesome.
Very long answer. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. I think that I've done the same thing. I say with each season or each school year, you've got to look at where you're going. Are you getting out of the car? Are you talking to people? And I just did the same thing as you. I changed my hair person. I changed my Bible study.
Exactly. I mean, changing the hair person can get scary because you never know what you're getting. But exactly, if I'm going to be giving someone my business and investing a lot of money their direction, they better be at least open to learning what I do. I mean, they just have to be open. Now, I just don't feel bad about that at all. And so you're right. And Sharon, I love the point. 2 weeks ago on my team call, no, I think it was just last week, we covered a fantastic fall, we called it. So every time you're going into a new season, it means that you make a few shifts within your own business as well. So how are you shifting the way that you share Juice Plus? How are you shifting the events that you're planning? What is going to be your focus right now in terms of it being a little bit of a different season, which people's mindset changes, their schedules change. So how can you leverage that in your business? It's very strategic.
Somebody want to ask a question along those lines? Okay. Well, Daryl has a question. I had someone tell me they are doing the same thing as Juice Plus by putting their fruit and veggies in the blender and not losing anything from it. What would you say to that?
Okay. Love those people. That goes right along the same lines of, oh my gosh, I already eat healthy, or me and my family, we eat tons of fruits and vegetables, or they're doing something right. It's a perfect embrace the objection cycle scenario. You embrace that. I'm like thinking right away, yay, I found someone who actually cares about their health. It's the dangerous person who pulls out their Diet Coke while they're talking to you that worries me. So instead, right there, I would just say, oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. That is that's obviously the best way you can get good nutrition. Tell me how you do that. I would ask, what kinds of things do you put in the blender? Where are you buying your fruits and vegetables that you're putting in there? Are they organic? Gosh, do you wash them first? Because I've always been frustrated by that process. Now again, I'm asking these questions and then I'm waiting for the response. So this is becoming a conversation, but it's mostly one way. They're talking to me because I'm just inquiring. I am like major inquisition here. I am like totally all about their blender and what they're putting in it. I'm going to be finding out, do you make them for the kids? Do they like it? How many different varieties are you getting? And then after that conversation has taken place and they have embraced and discussed and talked, and it's 15 minutes later, I'm going to just completely transition back to Juice Plus, and this is my standard go-to. Oh my gosh, you are going to be all over this information. This is right up your alley. I cannot wait to get your feedback. Good. You stop, you give them information. Because now they almost feel a sense of obligation because you just listened to them for so long and they became the expert. And so your comeback that, wow, that's great and you're going to love this, their wall went down, and I'm going to give you, I'll put my money on 90% or greater. They're going to look at your information now.
That's awesome.
I think somebody else had a question, but I didn't catch it.
It's too expensive.
Okay, we covered that last week, but who can cover that enough? Okay, number one, talk and quote money before you gave enough information. So I want you to learn to table the idea of cost until you've shared multiple videos, met with them, got them to an event or something. And just use the fallback of these phrases, at least these are the ones that work for me. You know what? It's the best thing. They've made this so affordable, it's less than a cup of Starbucks to take the whole product line. But I'll say, but I'm not sure if this is a good fit for you or which of the products you're going to be most interested in. So after you've taken a look at a couple of the videos, let's reconnect and I can go over that with you. So you're putting it off. You're putting it off. Why am I going to start? I mean, somebody that says $71.25 a month. Well, wait, they might just want to start with the complete. And that's not $71.25 a month. You might want to do the children's health study and get started in a small way. I am not going to assume where they're going to get started. So don't make assumptions. Don't decide for them. Feed the information, be the educator, and then wait until they're excited and sold before we start talking about what it means to buy it. Does that make sense? Any other questions around that? Now, if I did all that and they still said it's too expensive, I would ask the questions, what are you comparing that to? And how did you come up with that conclusion? That's all on that little sheet. You know, how did you come up with that conclusion?
Oh, yeah.
And pause.
Someone asked where that sheet is.
It is posted on thecampbellteam.net. If you go to weekly call series and go to last week with my photo of the brace ejection cycle, they attached it as a document right there.
Perfect. So perfect. Okay, so we have the kids stop taking it. They don't like it anymore.
I have certainly had that happen on, I'd say, countless occasions. It's a very frustrating scenario. It happens to all of us. So also, I guess some things I want you to not get yourself so disgruntled. You know, you're in business for yourself. You're going to have to grow a few thicker layers of skin here. We can't let every single naysayer and every single little problem rattle our cage and take us out and make us think that we're doing something wrong or it's not working or somehow you're a problem. No, it happens to all of us. We're all going to lose customers. We're all going to not be able to move someone through. But if you are putting enough people in your pipeline on a regular basis and your pipeline is full and you're talking to enough people, the little bit of fruition that happens won't affect the overall aspect of your business and your overall success. So I guess I'll put that first. But one is, this is why I do a lot of education with parents up front. I will often say, listen, I treat the Children's Health Study it's an extremely important program. I will be making an investment in your family and your child. I don't call it free. I call it an investment. I tell them that the people in the field, I call us the field, are going to be investing in you and your family, and so will our company. And I want to be sure that you and your family are going to take it. I said, I'll often say, we have 30 days to convert you to a Children's Health Study program. Why don't we get you started on the product first? And if you're feeling really good and confident that you want to make sure Johnny's going to eat it, so I may play I'll maybe give it to you. Because I'm not throwing it out there. There's nothing that I hate worse than a wasted Children's Health Study program. I mean, like, as far as a pet peeve on my own part. So I might do a little teaser of, I don't think you're sold enough. Like, if you're throwing out wishy-washiness to me in any way, I'm going to maybe be a little cautious. The other thing is I always have soft tissue samples. Since they have come out, I've never let myself run out. Are you investing in your business to have those? Because every family, I even mail them. Because a lot of my business is all spread out. I'll mail them. I'll say, let's let the kids try them. So I know whether that objection is starting on the front load so I can work through the objection before I make the sale. We're so intense to make the sale. If you would rest easy and make the sale after you've gone through a better process, you'll lose a lot less people down the road. So now, the kids, I couldn't get them to take it. Okay, well, how bad do you want them to have it? You know, how important it is for you to get them to eat Juice Plus. Are you open to some parenting suggestions? Oh, I'm the queen of parenting over here. I haven't done a lot right in the relationship side of my life, but I've been a really good mom. And I have 3 amazing adult kids. Because I was strict, I didn't like my kids, the chewables were at their table and they ate it or else. I mean, like, you know, I did a lot of incentives with one of my kids. I had a behavior chart. She got a marble every time she had them because she was my pickety shinickety. And she gave me the gag reflex and the drama queen over the chewables. And those days they were hard and a little bit, hard to eat too. But I picked the battle in my home. You know, is that parent ready to pick the battle? So you got to know where people are at. Here we go again. Know where they're at. Be okay with where they're at. Don't push them to the next step. Lead them. Walk them. Don't push them. So know where they're at and be okay there and move forward from there. I hope that makes sense.
Wonderful. We've got a couple more. You want me to read those?
Sure.
Okay, when someone has just started another product, but they love the idea of Juice Plus, but they say they're going to finish up what they're already taking.
We're just going to become best friends during the process. You're going to continue to build a relationship. You're going to be talking to them about that product. You know, when did you get turned on to that? Who told you about it? Where did you get it from? How much did it cost? I might not throw all this out at once, but I'm going to stay very well connected to them. They're a hot prospect. They're taking supplements. They value bridging the gap. They are investing in their health. They're a great prospect. Don't rush. Again, here we go. Don't we keep coming back to the don't rush? Because I don't know. I don't like to waste either. I remember I continued to take a bunch of my vitamins when I first started on Juice Plus because I wasn't going to throw them out. So I finished some supplements too when I started. Now I am the kind that wasn't going to say, like, I added Juice Plus and took the stuff and then just didn't ever go buy more afterwards because I noticed the massive difference of Juice Plus and everything else. But I think meeting people right where they're at on that front and be excited that you've got a really good, strong prospect. You've got someone investing in their health. They're loving the idea of Juice Plus. You might even start asking them, like, well, tell me, what do you see as the differences between what you're taking and what you learned about Juice Plus? Again, it's all about empowerment. You know, you're taking the power away from yourself. I'm not in power. They are the ones in charge of themselves and their lives. I need to always be giving them back the power whenever I can.
I love it. You're not really trying to avoid conversation. I have some team who does a lot of messaging and texting, and I always say have some kind of excuse to have a conversation. Because really, how are you going to get a team member if you don't have conversations?
Hi, you know, you're talking to an old school here. I believe it's the human connection. I mean, I do tremendous amount over text messaging and Facebook Messenger too. I get it. I really do. But you're not ever going to have a relationship. Panera and Starbucks are a line item in my budget. I meet up with people. I do Zoom constantly. I Zoomed with a girl I met on an airplane. I met her at the airport. We both got stranded. We probably drank a bottle of wine sitting there. I don't know. We got to know each other. And I ended up getting her on all the products, but she was all the way in Indiana. And before I did a Zoom, and then what I do a lot of, and Sharon, I actually did a training on this that's on YouTube if you might want to share it with everybody. But I went back and taught the web walk with Zoom. Zoom is phenomenal. I get someone on Zoom with me. I click on share. I go to my website. I'm clicking on medical professionals. I'm playing a couple for them. I sit there and let them watch the video, and I sit back and wait for the video to be done. And then I'm clicking on children's health studies. They have kids. I do a web walk. And I go to the store, I teach them how it's going to be bought, and by the end of the whole web walk, she was giving me her credit card. We placed the order right there online. So, but it was she and I, again, after we met face to face, and Lana is on my dream team right now. the list. She's an amazing entrepreneur. So, you know, I don't think that you will ever have a team without human connection. It just doesn't happen. And live personal calls, I mean, Zoom is great. Voxer is great because it's still alive versus just the typed word. There's no emotion there. And we are emotional creatures. We need the human connection. It will never go away. I don't care what we say.
Before we get to the next objections, what are the 2 videos, or should I say 2 videos? I have 2 videos that I send. But what videos do you send to people? Do you send people videos?
Hands down, same things I've been sending for years. Here's where I am so ridiculously simple. My upline, Karen Ebold, who trained me up, said, you know, I'm so simple, it's stupid. I send Bridge the Gap, and the next has to be the fruits and vegetables.
Okay, not Janet Roberto with the complete.
That's the third one. That's the third one. I first needed one thing. I want people taking our capsules. So I guess I'm pretty sold out on capsules. If they're going to have a great Juice Plus experience, occasionally I can tell that my only door is the complete. Then I will do Janet Roberto's, that one. But it's those 3. They're the ones on my phone. I have the others. They're usually my follow-up. They're my, okay, I got you interested, and now I'm following up more. Or I got you on the product, and I'm going to educate you more. Or you are a specific niche. You're an athlete, and you're only going to relate to David Phillips, and I'm going to do something from him. I'll go and retrieve that and send it. But 90% or more of the time, it's those 2 videos. I send them together, and I say, please watch these 2 videos.
That's good.
And I sell a lot of Juice Plus with those 2 videos. I mean, I'm a big one of don't change what works.
Yeah.
You know, that works for me. So I don't, you know, and then I always send a link to my website too. So I'll say, if you want to look at the entire website, click on the link below. So maybe the first 2 videos and then a link to my website. And I'm slowly trying to get them to pay attention.
Okay.
And I still call people. My follow-up are live phone calls. I know you don't want to hear me say this. Hi, and here's what I do. I'm Joe Professional. Hi, this is Loretta. It was so nice to meet you. You know, it's my job to be able to answer your questions and make sure that you have all the information that you need to make a great decision for you and your family. I'm calling to find out if you had a chance to look at the videos that I sent. You know what? I know you're super busy. It would be fine if you want to text me back, but I'll continue to be in touch until we connect. Have a great day. You know, they're going to hear from me, but I'm going to be very customer service oriented, very professional. Do you know how blown away people are by that? You know how many times somebody's answered the phone after my 3rd, 4th, or 5th phone call, and they said, oh, Loretta, I'm so embarrassed. I've lost your phone number. I deleted your message. I meant to call you. I've been swamped, blah, 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 blah. I absolutely want to order Juice Plus. It just happened last week. I got a referral from a customer. Her husband had a surgery. She thinks the whole family should be on Juice Plus. Angela called her. She answered the first time, got her the information. She wanted it over email, sent her a text. I haven't watched it yet, blah, blah, blah. Started phone call follow-ups. To me, she was a very hot lead for an entire family starting on Juice Plus. They had the means. I wasn't going to let it die. She hasn't told me no yet. She hasn't told me no yet. She finally picked up that doggone phone and said, she knew who it was. She said, hey, Loretta. And I'm like, hey, Angela, how you doing? She's like, I know I owe you a phone call. She goes, you know, and she goes into a rigmarole. And she said, thank you for being persistent. And she gave me her credit card. And we ordered 2 sets of trios with 2 children's health studies.
And instead of us feeling bad, they feel bad. We just say, hey, it's Sharon with Juice Plus. And you don't even have to say anything else. They start apologizing. That's what I've seen.
Exactly. No one is offended by you doing your job.
Yeah. So
if you remind them that you're doing your job. What was that?
I think that was a question. Even if they ask repeatedly if they've watched the videos, do you think they need to try a different tactic?
Phone call. It's only phone call after that. It needs to be, you know what? You remind them of, and now did you do a good job interviewing them on the front load? Mm-hmm. Do you know why they might be interested in Juice Plus? So my phone call is going to be, you know what? You expressed deep concern about the fact that little Charlie is not eating any fruits or vegetables. you talk to me about the fact that his asthma is getting worse, or whatever we talked about, I'm going to bring that up first, and I'm going to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable not continuing to follow up with you because I'm going to assume that you're really busy unless you let me know you're no longer interested. That's what I say, because it's the fact. That's probably what's happening. They haven't lost interest. Their brains are so clouded with the craziness of life that they just aren't ready to bump it up on the priority list, but only me keeping up with the follow-up. And I'm going to tell you, you should have your answer within a couple weeks. If the lead or the referral or the connection has died after a couple weeks, it doesn't mean you can't circle around. Here's how I circle around to old leads, invitations to events.
Yeah.
So I'll go back and say, hey, I know at one point you were really interested in learning more. Here's a great chance for you to come and do that. So I'll just go through my book and just call when there's events. But really, I am sticking with a prospect over a couple week period a lot until I try to get to the no. And after so many calls, usually, like I said, because of statistics, I try to make it about 5. If I still haven't heard back, they're going on my call later list.
Okay, we have 2 more objections, but I'm going to tell you mine. I'm just going to give you an example of one that happened to me. And I really loved this lady. She was at a surf shop. And I was like, oh, she's going to be our next team member because she is looking for something. She just moved down here. They're cool people, her and her husband. And I sent her videos. And one of the first things she says is, we don't do soy. I don't do soy and my kids don't either, but I'm going to check out the rest. And she was still going to meet me, and she still is. And I was like, oh, now, and she made it very vague, so I didn't even know what to do about that. What do you think I should have done?
Well, the thing is, the door's still open. So I would drop the soy for a while as I built relationship, and I would laser tunnel vision only on the capsules and the chewables for now.
That's awesome.
Through the relationship process, I might say, when it comes to the soy thing, I might say, gosh, I am so well aware of some negative information that is available about soy. At any time, would you be open to me sharing with you what I learned by doing some continued research and as to why I've decided it's okay to ingest it myself and give it to my family?
That's awesome.
Would you be open? Yeah, just would you be open at some time for me to share the education? One of my rock stars that is doing my training call tonight, Cindy Farnham, she is the queen of connections. When she gets big objections too, for the product or the soy or something else, she brings them to me. And now she's so doggone savvy, she doesn't need me no more. She has brought me, I'd say, 50 connections in 4 years. I've lost track. I'm on the phone with her constantly. Mm-hmm. Why is she a qualifying national marketing director? She's not afraid to bring people to a third-party person to get their questions answered, and for the 2 of us to serve these people with a heart, with kindness, with a genuine interest in their health and their well-being. We're talking about their weight loss, their fibromyalgia. We're talking about all of it. We don't have all the answers. We're not being nutritious on the phone. We're being supporting, loving people that are just together sharing our stories, and the third-party validation, boom, she's done. She's got them right where they need to be. I guarantee she's training on that tonight.
I love that. Great. So bring it to the third party. Awesome.
Bring it to the third party. See, and tell the person, gosh, I totally understand why that must be such a hard decision for you. Anything else?
Yes. Let's go with 2 more, and then we'll let you go. Okay, so I have to check with my doctor first. Don't we love getting that? Yeah. It just makes us wait, right?
I might sit here like this. Let them say more, number 1. They might say that, and they've got more to say about that. And then the list of questions, which are on that sheet, are, oh my gosh, what doctor do you go to? How often do you see them? How long have you been seeing them? How much time does your doctor spend with you when you go? Is that the person that you turn to for your nutrition advice? And then I'm going to ask the final question. Gosh, if you were to ask them how they would feel about you adding more fruits and vegetables to your diet, what do you think they would say? So I would say 9 out of 10 times I overcome the objection without the doctor. The 1 out of 10 times I make sure that I have empty bottles to give to that person to bring into the appointment so the doctor can use their brain power to look at the simple label that's the nutrition and has fruits and vegetables on it. And I have to say, often, either the doctor says, oh yeah, this would be fine, or they might even say, oh, I've heard of this, it's a good product. And we move right through it together. I very rarely over all these years can remember a time when the doctor got in the way, except for with chemo patients. That's it.
Don't you find that people make excuses for other people? Like they might say that about the doctor when the doctor would never say that. Or if people say, well, my husband wouldn't let me do that. You know, it's like they're kind of just voicing that.
I call it the put off. They're putting you off because they're very bad at making decisions. Right. They might have some scarcity. Probably it's other reasons other than what you've gotten to, and they're just putting you off. They're becoming a fence sitter. Yes.
Right. And our job is to get them off the fence, right?
Yes. Sometimes that takes just taking their credit card out of their purse.
Okay. Don't anybody get in trouble with that, but that's
no. But you know what I mean? Sometimes you do need to just be like, Nancy, all right, you watched the videos, you totally need Juice Plus, and you said you want it. Just give me your credit card and let me get you started on your first box. If you can be lighthearted and you have the rapport, you can often do that. And they're like, oh, thank you for helping me make a decision. Here you go. Because right. they're horrible at making decisions. They can't make decisions. Sometimes I wonder how they function.
So I call it knee-jerk responses. People are just kind of voicing what their initial response is, but that doesn't mean it's a no and you should just stop. That's
exactly. That's exactly true.
You just got to kind of brainwash yourself that you heard that.
Yes.
You just kind of proceed, right?
Exactly.
Okay. In follow-up to the doctor one, Anna asks, how does she address the chemo avoidance?
Very tenderly. If somebody's undergoing cancer and cancer treatment and chemo, I am going to be treading very lightly. They are trying to put all of their faith in that doctor they're working with. I watched my dad die from cancer. My sister died of cancer. My best friend of 37 years died of cancer. I've been there, done that. None of them would take juice. But like, I am going to just be very careful. I mean, if they're open, I'm going to say, I'll do some of those same objections. I know, I know this is, and again, empathizing first. I know this is one of the most difficult things that you must have ever walked through. And I understand that your doctor means so much to you right now. But I'm wondering if he may not understand what Juice Plus is. Are you open to me sharing the education that you could bring to him or her? Very tender, very kind, very open to their no answer. I'm going to ask permission. And occasionally I might get them to be more open-minded to that. And it happens. They sometimes are. That's good. But you're going to just tread very lightly and love on those people.
Right. Okay. This is kind of a combo of a little bit of what we've already talked about. I asked my doctor about it. He said he doesn't think I need it. I'm healthy and I eat well. And then earlier I heard somebody's doing a plant-based diet and said, I'll no longer need my Juice Plus. I'm like, wow. That was an objection we got earlier today. So that kind of comes back to Daryl's on blending a bunch of fruits and vegetables in the blender, right?
Yeah, it's almost the same lines. Is it an excuse just to get that off their budget line, or there's some deeper reasons for that cancellation? Remember, when someone's about to cancel, they're coming up with a reason. They're coming up with their reason, and I don't always kind of buy it. I often find that people that cancel come back, so I don't get too rattled. But I'm going to try to have that conversation of more questions. Oh my gosh, that is like, nobody ever tells me that. That is super exciting that you decided to go to strictly a plant-based diet. Where did you learn about that? What made you decide that? What is that going to look like for you? I'm going to ask the questions, whether it's over text, whether it's on the phone. I'm going to try to get them talking to me about it. Any doctor that's telling them they don't need to Juice Plus to eat healthy, Well, I'm just going to, I'm just going to field that with a lot of questions, which is, tell me about your doctor, tell me about their education, nutrition, how do you feel about that response? I might ask them, how do you feel about that? Are they really buying into that,
It reminds me, Kirsten Silvoy is not on here, I don't think, but her husband works for a very large company, and I forget what he called it, but it's kind of being like extremely curious, just continuing to be curious, and not in a sarcastic way, but just in a, oh my gosh, let me hear more. Tell me more. Like you're a counselor. Tell me more.
It's the tell me more scenario. Absolutely. I'm telling you, for those of us that are talkers and educated and passionate about Juice Plus, this is you got to train yourself to just tone it down and be in inquisition of others. It's not about you up front. You'll get your chance, to be more enthusiastic as you build the relationship, especially as you get them as a customer. That can start to build on itself. Now you get to tell them more of your story, and now they're on the product, and they're starting to sleep better and have better energy. Now you're telling them more, and you're even educating them better and more thoroughly. I always say that the work really begins after you take the order.
Right. I think sometimes people think they're done after they take the order. So, but if we're really helping them transform, that's really not the case. And you can get them on more than one product, and it continues. So any last words, Loretta? I know the theme last conference was change your story. And so
I'm going to have to go in like 1 minute to turn off this recording, but we're good. Go ahead. What was the last one?
No, we're done with the questions. Just any last words going into conference? Last conference, it was change your story. What is your theme or your excitement going into this conference?
Well, first of all, are you going to conference? I have to tell you, the very first time I went to conference, I had to borrow money from my mom. I had to put a little bit on a credit card. I had 3 different people watching my children over 3 nights of my stay. I went by myself. I stayed in a hotel room with 3 other women. I got the pull-out couch. No excuses, people. If you want this to work for you, conference is non-negotiable. It is a how am I going to go, not am I going to go. Because it's where everything in your world happens. It's where all of the success is fueled. It's from the top down. The top down. You get to here and it filters down. You can't possibly be the example for your teammates. It's okay if none of them are coming. You go anyhow and you come back with all the excitement and all of what happens. Find your way to conference. If you're struggling getting people to come with you, then all the more reason you have to be there because you're struggling with something still. So I guess the thing is, conference to me is the critical piece of the puzzle of being in this business. I've never missed a conference since I started. Going to conference one time because of a family member dying, we had to cancel at the last minute and not go. But our flights were booked, our hotel was booked. Our intention was to be there. So, I never saw it as an option. I saw it as I want this business to work, and therefore I'm expected to go to conference. And I found a way in times where I sometimes I look back and go, how did I pull all that off? I don't know. Don't we really get, like when we want to do something, we find a way. So my biggest encouragement is to make sure that you come to conference. Our whole theme has been indie bound. And so we're talking about what are you bound for? What are you bound for? By what you're doing, are you bound for success? So, being okay with, some good self-analysis, being able to regroup. We're almost here. We've got 1 week. The other thing I guess I'll leave you with is you got 1 week. A lot can happen in 1 week. Tonight, Cindy was finishing a 13-day 2,000 plus. So if you've got someone in the middle of it, it's not too late. You could pull off a couple Facebook parties. You could do a big round of all day long blitzing and phone calling and text messaging with that person. My best 2,000 plus finish was at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night when the deadline was midnight. I got on a connection call with somebody to finish their 2,000 plus, and we took an order. I believe so much can still happen. I always, if you're trying to crank up your paycheck to take with you to conference, close every single order you can this week. Finish every HLP you can this week. be on fire for a great month. Don't be afraid to tell people this is the month before we go to conference, and it's a big deal in my world. Do you have any referrals from me right now of anyone that you think I could share Juice Plus with? Are you working your business? I guess is the point, because I think I like deadlines. I do really well with deadlines. It's like, okay, it's the deadline. We're here. And I'm doing it my own self with wanting to get as much in the system and have the best and biggest thing we can bring to conference. And so each of you need to be thinking of that too.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Thank you so much for pumping us up for conference and to be out there speaking with everyone. Let me unmute everybody so they can say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Powerful. Thank you.
Take care.
So phenomenal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love that. Bye, Loretta. Oh my goodness. That was great. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you. We have a rep whose birthday is today.
Who?
Jessica.
Happy birthday.
Kiana's Jessica.
Yay. Happy birthday, Jessica. And congratulations to Gary and Jean.
Yay.
Hey, what's going on with Gary and Jean?
Congratulations.
They just finished their 2,000 plus. We got to get it cleared with corporate.
That's right.
Really excited.
Daryl just finished his HLP.
Daryl, congratulations. Well, he's out talking to people while he's driving, right, Daryl? Awesome. Good job, everybody.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.